Everyone, good morning. Good morning. This moment marks an important transition in the life of the prize. It is the point at which responsibility for the submitted works formally passes into the hands of the advisory board and the panel of judges, ushering in the most critical phase of the process. The Nigeria Prize for Literature, sponsored by the Nigeria NLNG Limited, has earned its standing by recognizing only excellence. Over the years, it has established a rigorous adjudication framework where literary works are subjected to careful, independent scrutiny. And at the end of the process, only one work emerges to receive the cash award of $100,000. The advisory board, working closely with the panel of judges, ensures that every entry is read thoroughly and independently. Where necessary, we interrogate the works, raise questions, and assess them against a standard that has been carefully built, refined, and sustained over time. We have continually assured the literary community that their work will be taken seriously, and that assurance is underpinned by a meticulous education process that promotes fairness, balance, and equity. We also enjoin the literary community to retain confidence in the work of the judges. The process is thorough, unbiased, and strictly merit-based. It is this consistency maintained across successive cycles that has given the prize its enduring credibility. Last year's cycle illustrated this clearly. The poetry cycle. Poetry, the genre in focus this year, is often misunderstood and sometimes assumed to be easier than other literary forms. However, anyone who has worked closely with poetry understands that the opposite is true. There is very little room to hide. One cannot rely on length or excessive explanation. Every line must be precise. Every word must justify its presence. It is here that many works fall short. The last time poetry was in focus, Nomad by Romeo Oriogu emerged as the winning collection. Its 67 poems took readers on a layered, introspective journey reflecting dimensions of the African experience with depth and clarity. That work remains a strong reference point for the genre. I encourage those interested to revisit it, even as we carefully manage our expectations for this year's outcome. For this cycle, we have received 223 entries. While this is a healthy number, we will continue to encourage broader participation and deeper engagement from the literary community. Impact, responsibility, and the way forward. With the formal handover of the entries, our work begins in earnest. From this point, we move fully into the next stage of the competition. It is important to state that this prize goes beyond the selection of a single winner. Our broader objective is to identify a work that will be widely read, critically engaged with, and capable of influencing how other writers approach their craft. In this sense, the winning work becomes a benchmark in African literature. While the prize money understandably attracts initial attention, what follows is far more significant. The sustained relevance of the work, the conversations it simulates, and the influence it exerts over time are the true measures of the prize's impact. To all writers who summon the courage to submit their work, I extend my congratulations. Not every work will advance to the final stage. However, every serious entry strengthens the process, elevates the level of engagement, and contributes to keeping our literary space vibrant and intellectually active. I wish to acknowledge NLNG for its continued confidence in the advisory board and the panel of judges. Its support has ensured that the prize remains firmly anchored on excellence. The advisory board remains fully committed to upholding integrity and maintaining the highest standards. We take the responsibility entrusted to us with utmost seriousness, and we trust that this will be reflected, as it always has been, in the outcome of this year's competition. On this note, we formally accept the 223 entries from the prize secretariat. Thank you very much.